Hey there, how are you? Today is Tuesday and I am making a special dinner because it's a birthday celebration week in our house. I'm going to be making a marinated skirt steak. So I am just going to show you how quick and easy this is to do because what I love to do is to make dinners that keep me in the kitchen for the most minimal amount of time so that I can spend more time with my family. So I bought skirt steak. Buy whatever kind of steak that they have in your grocer. Flank steak works, hanger steak would work. All these kinds of steaks are basically like long, kind of thin steaks that will absorb your marinade so that it will taste delicious. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to marinate right into a Ziploc bag. If you've never done this, it's genius. You should do it. You could use a regular Ziploc bag. I'm making almost 3 pounds of meat, so I've got these like enormous, like I swear, I feel like I could jump into this thing. I've got this enormous Ziploc bag, and I'm just going to put my steaks right in there. So basically, this is the skirt steak. It is very long. I am probably going to actually cut this in half right now. I'm just going to take one of these knives, and I'm going to cut this in half, mostly because it'll be easier for me to cook them when they're in smaller pieces. They'll fit on my pan, and that way I won't have to take dripping marinated steaks and try and cut them on my cutting board later. Okay, you're going to want to make sure you take off any packing paper that is on them. What I love about this steak, and you may have a love-hate with this, is this steak does have a lot of fat on it. Fat is not something you would generally hear me say, that I like to have a fatty steak, but when you cook down the fat, it actually creates delicious flavor. So there you go. That is the steak. Let me just give a quick rinse of my hands. All right, this marinade, super, super easy. You're basically doing olive oil, soy sauce, brown sugar, and then whatever heat complex that you like. So you like it super hot, you'll add more red pepper flakes. There's going to be a little cumin in it, and let's go. All right, so let me just turn this on real quick. I am going to, now I'm adjusting my recipes slightly because I do have more steak than the recipe calls for. And this is where math comes into play. I was never like the greatest math student. And I was always like, ugh, when am I going to need math? Let me tell you, you need math. I am constantly using math in the kitchen to figure out what the heck it is that I am supposed to be measuring. All right, so here we go. So I put olive oil, and now I am putting soy sauce. I actually need to put more olive oil. Hold on. Olive oil, soy sauce. We're going to cut in some freshly juiced limes. I'm going to do that part next. And watch this, because if you don't have this tool, I'm going to tell you right now, go out and get it. This is my citrus squeezer. I cannot live without this. There are a few things in my kitchen that are just genius hacks. This is one of them. Not only do you get the maximum amount of juice, you just shove this thing, your fruit in there, you squeeze it out. You get the maximum amount of juice that you can from your citrus. You get no seeds, and you don't have to like squeeze it into your hand, and then your hand gets cut and raw, and it stings and smelly and it's dirty. Easy, squeezy, peasy. That's what I will call it today. Easy, squeezy, peasy. So I'm just going to take about 2 limes. I love the citrus taste. I might even have squeezed in a 3rd lime if I had it, but I'm maximizing my lime juice here. Okay, that is that. We're going to add some brown sugar. Let me just see. They want 3 tablespoons, and what I keep looking at is I have this new refrigerator. I don't know how new it is anymore, but it actually has, hang on. My new refrigerator actually has like an iPad on it. So it's kind of like, I know I've seen these advertisements for like, I guess it's Google. Google Home has a, like a thing where you can like talk to it like an Alexa or something, and you could ask it to cook. Well, my refrigerator does that. It's pretty cool. I kind of like it. That way I'm not getting my iPad and my my iPod or my iPad all messy and dirty. Okay, so it's calling for, I'm going to use a little less brown sugar than it calls for, just because, you know, watching that sugar intake. I am going to use more red pepper flakes than it calls for, just because my family does love red pepper. Okay. I am eyeballing it here. I suggest if you're not into the red pepper, don't eyeball it and actually measure it, and maybe try on your first time doing this recipe, you can try to do like half of what it calls for. Here's a little cumin. I'm also going to do a tad less because hubby doesn't like too much cumin. All right, and garlic. So garlic, you can use this minced garlic that's already pre-minced and pre-chopped for you. You can use real cloves, like this is real, but you can use like a head of a garlic clove and just really mince it yourself or chop it yourself. Totally fine. Okay, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna make sure I have everything, red pepper flakes, blah, blah, blah. Watch this. Okay, ready? I'm sticking this in the bag. You want to make sure it's airtight, because if you start mixing this around, and first of all, if it's open, you're gonna get messy. And you want it to be airtight so that, I don't know if you can see that, you're just gonna mix all of that mess up. And you're just going to make sure that that cumin and the red pepper flakes are all mixing in with the oil and the soy and the brown sugar. And it's going to just, it's actually a lot of fun. It's kind of therapeutic. It's sort of like those little therapeutic squishy balls that all the kids are obsessed with. Except it's dinner, right? Okay. This is going in your fridge. When you are ready to cook, it takes 3 to 4 minutes per side on the broiler in your oven, and boom, you're done. I guess it depends. Some of the timing is going to depend on how pink you like your meat, but these meats are super, super thin, so they're not going to take a long time to cook. Dinner, I guess I've been marinating for a few minutes, and then it's going to cook 3 to 4. Dinner in less than 15 minutes. Hope you like it. If you want the recipe, let me know. Bye, guys.